Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw for week 4 of 2024. Another 7 curious, interesting, hopefully innovative things I saw last week, so let's crack on. First one is liquid metal prototyping, and this is from MIT and is showing you what they're calling liquid metal printing. As the name suggests, it's liquid metal, in this case aluminium, being squirted into a bed of glass beads. The metal then solidifies, you then shake it out, you can then mill it into more accurate shapes if you want to, and create these quite funky aesthetics you're seeing in front of you now. It's quite blobby at the moment, it's quite crude, but as I say, you can mill it into new shapes, but also it is 10 times faster than normal metal 3D printing, so that's a pretty cool advance. We like that. This is from Disney Research, and it's the sort of the latest iteration of a sort of a movable floor, so you can do AR and VR experiences whilst you feel like you're walking around inside them. This is a very coolly named Lanny Smoot demonstrating this. It can also recognize more than one person on it as well, so you can have different people doing things, and because they're motorized, they can move things about as well. Even a person. So here's Lanny moving about and larking about as though he's been moved around by magic. So really like that one. Possibly this will be in your home of the future, so you can walk around infinitely in a very small room. This was discovered in the latest version of TikTok. This is the beta, and this was discovered by Matt Navarro, who's a social media expert, and really is the next stage on from TikTok announced last year that they were going to be trialing 30-minute videos, and this seems to be in the latest beta. So why are they going to do this? Well, there's probably 3 reasons. One is to steal some audience from other places, YouTube being the obvious one. Second one is probably because of the different formats of 30 minutes allow you to work with different influencers, maybe different TV stations and different content platforms. But probably really it's going to be advertising. You can get a hell of a lot more adverts in 30 minutes. So if you are a TikTok user, then watch that one. Well done for Matt for noticing that. Quite interesting. This is BYD. If you don't know who BYD are, they are a Chinese car manufacturer, and they are now the world's largest EV manufacturer. This is their U8 model doing a 360. This is their U9 model doing a jump. It is actually jumping off the floor and also can drive with only 3 wheels because of its really interesting suspension. And their U8 model, which you're just about to see, can also survive for 30 minutes in water and still maneuver around. Now, these are the sorts of things that Elon Musk is telling you that his Cybertruck can do, but doesn't quite do it so well. But this is kind of interesting. So if you weren't really sure who they were, they are somebody who, or a company you probably need to know about. They're also doing some pretty funky things with their logistics. They've even got their own ships. So they've designed and launched their own ships to circumnavigate the sort of logistics and delivery issues that we're seeing in the rest of the world. So a pretty forward-thinking company. Watch out for them, you might start to see those. This is a couple of weeks old, but it's still rumbling on. This is lots of people have started to notice, or 1 or 2 very specific people, and lots of people have backed it up, that they're seeing a lot of data coming from their LG washing machines. So in this case, it's probably due to an error, but we don't really know which an error, i.e. it's trying to update and constantly updating and using a lot of data. Now, when I say a lot of data, it's 3.66 gigabytes. And that's a huge amount of data per day. As you see, every hour is about 170 megabytes trying to be used by a washing machine. Now you can get essentially hardware updates, and you can download new programs through washing machine. That's and also diagnostic data. That's about 1 megabyte a day is to be expected. So 3.6 is a little bit weird, but just check your router. And also, if you do have any Internet of Things devices, IoT devices, just check that they're secure, check the passwords are good, because you can also be using your washing machine to create denial of service attacks or hacks to other people as well. So just check that out. It's happening to LG washing machines, probably just an error at this point. We've seen quite a lot of techniques where you train robots in the virtual world, and NVIDIA have got this really interesting TED talk. Definitely Google that, which is what they're talking about, foundation agents, where they train their agents on everything, not just language, not just robotics, everything. So have a look for that. That's quite an interesting vision of the future. But this is actually California University, Berkeley, and they're showing you within an hour they can get a robot that does not know how to walk. It just basically sits on its back and wriggles about. Within an hour, it can figure out how to walk by itself. And within a little bit shorter time, it can then figure out how to right itself and also recover itself from tricky situations. So you say within 20 minutes, it's figured out how to get onto its legs, and within an hour, it can actually move about. That's pretty funky. There's lots of demonstrations of if you then just train robots in the virtual world, they can do things that humans kind of would thought that robots can't do at the moment. So we're seeing this being attacked from both angles, so to speak. AI training and learning on real robots, but also virtual training applied to physical robots as well. So that's quite an interesting place to be. And finally, this is pretty cool. This is actually a user called Push Matrix. No idea who that is, but basically posted a bunch of these videos, or the same video actually, in a bunch of forums on Reddit. And it's showing you a really cool use of augmented reality. So if you're not sold on augmented reality headsets, this is a really good thing. So it does lots of floor tracking, and therefore when you're vacuuming up, it shows you where you've been. Lots of comments all about, oh, this would be really interesting to gamify, especially if you've ever played GTA, you've got to find that last 1%, whatever it is. So those sorts of things I think are really interesting. But if you're not convinced by AR yet, then this is probably one of the things you'll go, oh, I see how that can work. There you go, very interesting, like that. Well done, Push Matrix. Hopefully it was interesting, hopefully it was useful. If it was, give it a like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and I will see you next week.